Hello, and welcome to the Battle Advisors YouTube channel. The following pilot episode is to introduce what this channel is all about, to help people like you and me with developing strategies for use on tabletop and on video game formats when we play strategy games. Today I'll be playing a game of Warhammer 40,000 with a friend of mine, between Tyranids and Dark Eldar. Today's layout for the table was pitch battle. We divide the table into halves and set up our miniatures 12 inches from the centre of the board. Past the purple block on the screen is the Dark Eldar deployment zone, and past the green at the bottom is a Tyranid deployment zone. In this game we roll for the simple objective of annihilate your enemy. My friend won deployment and set up accordingly. On the far right we can see a squad of Incubi, 4 men, one that's Clavex with Onslaught power. Next to them is a squad of Cavalite Trueborn with Dart Lance, Blaster, Splinter Cannon and a Drakon with Agonizer and Phantasm Grenade Launcher. Next to them is a Venom with dual Splinter Cannons and a troop of 5 Incubi inside. Next to that we see a Raider carrying 9 Witches and a Succubus to lead them. They, I think, received, I can't remember which combat drug. Oh wait, that's it. The combat drug that allows them to re-roll to wound. At the back is a Ravager, and in front of the Ravager is a squad of normal Cavalite warriors with Blaster and Dart Lance. Next to them is a Talos with close combat weapon, chain flails, and no, it's not a Splinter Pod, it's a Stinger Pod, that's it. The last squad there, seen on the table, is a squad of Cavalite warriors, again, with Blaster and Dart Lance. While in reserve, there are 3 jet bikes, and one of them carries a Heat Lance, while the rest of them are practically bog standard. And then there is the Ravenwing jet fighter that is also lying in reserve. Meanwhile, on the Tyranid deployment phase, I did not set everything up on the table. I kept everything in reserve because my list is a deep strike list. I had a Trigon Prime, a Carnifex with Bioplasma, Venom Cannon, Brainleech Worm Devourer, and Spore Pod. Zoanthropes, 2 of them in Spore Pod, 4 warriors, 3 standards with a 4th being the heavy venom carrier in a Spore Pod. 3 warriors coming in from reserve on the outflank because of the Hive Tyrant's special ability. 3 of them only, all carrying bone swords and toxin sacks, as well as their devourers. Then there's the Hive Tyrant with standard equipment, Lash Whip, Bone Sword, and a Heavy Venom Cannon, Hive Commander, Special Upgrade, and Implant Attack. Next comes the Venomthropes. I don't know if I've mentioned those. 2 of them coming in from reserve, and the same going for a Tervigon coming in from reserve. Right, Dark Eldar first term. There really wasn't much for them to do. They moved their Venom forward, and the Raider carrying the Witches, because they were anticipating a counter assault at my end of the board with my Tyrant or Tyranid troops. He also moved a Talos forward towards the building, and that was it for turn 1. Turn 2, he rolled his reserves and only managed to bring in the Raven Wing fighter. Because there was nothing on the board again, he still couldn't shoot. That was my defensive tactic, and from there on in, next turn is Tyranid turn 1, effectively.